Yeah, so yeah, very interesting. Okay, DX1 now. Not familiar listener to the show. He's got a Goldberg question here, Matt. So Goldberg has to come back surely and work a match at Mania. Who would be the match for him? I'd like to see him up against Samoa Joe. Yeah, I'd take that as well. Matt, Goldberg, does he have any more left in the tank to do another match? And we know he does have a following. The ratings did spike when he was on Raw, so you've got to give him that. But is there necessary for him to come back again, Matt? And I suppose it's a bit different when he's working with Brock, but when I saw him against Kevin Owens, I was like, that's the one the one I didn't enjoy. But when he was with Brock, fine, it's their own kind of thing. But is there room for him to face anybody else, Matt? And if so, would he have to put over the guy that's the active wrestler?
Yeah, he certainly has that in his tank. I mean, he can go in short bursts. We've seen.
Yep.
And
that's what they want.
Quite successfully, get the pops.
Yeah.
So I think he should come back for another match because he did quite well for the company. They got some good ratings from his appearances, and that's a good thing. There's not a hell of a lot of people for him to wrestle, though. Joe is a good choice because he is someone of that size and strength and toughness that you could see legitimately go against him. But the only other immediate name that springs to mind is Braun Strowman.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say it because I saw Goldberg on an interview on YouTube. You can check this out. And somebody asked him who he'd like to wrestle, and he said, "Hey, maybe a guy like Braun Strowman would be the one that he had his eye on." So I don't know if there's anything in that, but I think it's good. The only thing I know it's going to sound, I'm going to pee the Goldberg fans off, but he probably has to put Braun over. For me, he has to put Braun over. That's the only way it makes sense for me because Braun Strowman, he needs some more rubs off of guys, and Goldberg would be a fantastic box office main event, and they could just have it. They haven't even got to have it long. It can be like the Goldberg Lesnar match of last year. For me, that was a terrific match. Wasn't long, but my God, was it impactful and memorable. So I'd rather that than anything. It doesn't really bother me about the time and everything else, and I think the story would be there. They could do something with Braun. The only problem is now, Matt, is it seems like Braun's a babyface. So I don't know how that works if that match was going to happen. That's the only problem because he seems like he's getting cheered now and all the rest of it. And even in the UK, Matt, we saw him sort of shaking people's hands and kids. So that would be the only thing that would stop that from happening, Matt. But then again, what the hell does Braun Strowman do at WrestleMania? And is it all down to Triple H? Because that's the rumour I'm hearing.
Yeah, it could be difficult, actually. And there's not too many people that I'm that excited to see Braun face. If Goldberg were to come back, that would be one that I would find very interesting. I'm not too sure whether I'd be that interested in seeing him fight Triple H, though, because obviously we know Triple H is going to lose before that match has even begun. Yeah,
that's the only problem with that one. Maybe it'll be Shane. Or what's his name? They'll bring him back again. What's that guy's name? The one he had the first jobber match with when they got the contract. Bring him back. Bring him back for a match, rematch. Okay, moving on. We'll take the last few questions here as we sum up the end of the show. This is from Too Cool. Great tag team, by the way. Good name. I love the Bret Hart timeline. Will you go up to Bret's return in 2010? Just interested to know. I didn't have plans to do it, but seeing as he was in WWE, I think what we'll do on the very last one we do, we may add that on the end of the show, just as a kind of summary, the fact that he did come back after all those years. So yeah, we may possibly do that. Stay tuned on that one, because he did return to the WWE again all those years later. Okay, Sarah now. WWE is a load of horse crap. She's not happy. There's nothing good about it at all. That was her point. Anything to add to that, Matt? Are you feeling that way at the moment, or?
I don't know. Well, I've heard that a lot, but it's one of those things, isn't it? don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But
I have a lot of emails like that, by the way, from everybody. That was one of the ones I picked because I couldn't read out everything. But yeah, a lot of people are like that. But listen, I would do what I do sometimes. Like if it gets on your nerves that much, just flick the channel, don't watch it, and just watch the YouTube clips sometimes, because that can be a lot easier to get through. It's a little 4-minute burst, and it will show you the best of the best. So if you have moments and weeks like that, or take a leaf out of Jimbo's book, come off for a couple of months, have an holiday, and then come back. You might feel refreshed, maybe. That's interesting. And last question here, Matt. I'm going to take this one. I recently watched the ESPN 30 for 30 on Ric Flair. I thought it was really good and shows how Flair, for just how great he was. Do you know when the Andre the Giant documentary is released? And yes, this is the one I got in recently. I just literally, you'll see it on today on our page on Facebook, put a trailer up for that. I think I actually sent it to you as well, Matt. I'm not sure if I did. That's not done by ESPN. That's not the 30 for 30 people. That is HBO are actually producing that, of course. And HBO are nothing to be knocked. Of course, Game of Thrones and everything else they do. So they have done an entire. Apparently, it's really good. The Andre the Giant stuff. They've got some really good clips that have never been seen for years and years and years in their archives that they've bought out. So, Matt, did you get a chance to see the trailer, or I don't know if I sent it to you or not on the link?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, this documentary. Yeah. It looks pretty good, though. Looking forward to seeing that when in its full entirety when it comes out. Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be good for most people, because a lot of people just remember that Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3 where he could barely do much, but this day you might see more of his sort of active self and how big he was for a good decade in the 70s as a star when he was brought in from France, and just how much he was booked literally everywhere. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it should be a good documentary. And also the 30 for 30, if you can get hold of that, anybody, that was really good as well. I really enjoyed watching that, and they do a really good job there, ESPN, of stuff like that. I kind of wish, like WWE, they have such a good relationship with ESPN at the moment, like by them going on the sports channel and getting coverage. I wish they'd do some joint production and help WWE do their documentaries a little bit better, because there's some of the WWE ones, like they're trying to be really legit and good, but sometimes it's nice, Matt, when you get an outside point of view looking in rather than the WWE style, because sometimes internally it's just like, yeah, they put that there for a reason, or they're not going to talk about this. But sometimes when you get an outsider, they ask the questions more like I would ask,
Yeah.
So. But we will see how it goes. So yeah, if you can get hold of the Ric Flair one, definitely recommended watch there. Matt, going forward, of course, Raw tonight, everybody a little bit buzzing about what's going to happen. Apparently there's some news about Paige and Sasha Banks on a match tonight. That's an early booking apparently. Anything you're looking forward to in the coming weeks for WWE or on SmackDown or anything for you?
No, well, I think I am still looking forward to seeing how this Page situation plans out, so that will be a point to continue. And also, I think Roman has a credible opponent now, from what it looks like. We'll be seeing a lot of him and Joe in some future interactions.
Yeah, that's good. Just before we hit off area, what did you make of the Elias match from the week before? Because one thing I'll say, when they introduced both of them, Elias Sampson, he looked really like the part, Matt. I mean, I don't know what you thought, but I'm not saying he's it now, but you can definitely see potential in this guy. He's a big dude as well, isn't he? Like, you forget how big he is, because sometimes he's kind of on his own, or he's not up against guys like Roman, but he's quite a big guy.
Yeah, he didn't look out of his depth in that match at all.
Yeah.
I think, he has built upon himself incredibly well. Shed that kind of negativity that was hurled at him originally down at NXT, and sort of come into a whole different type of person now. So I'll be interested to see how far his star rises. I see a lot of potential in that guy.
Yep, me too. And other good news as well, Matt told me we've got tickets for next year, haven't we, Matt? And Matt done a tremendous job on that, because people actually, I got loads of emails. I was like, where are you getting them from and everything else. And by the time I got most of those emails, they'd already gone out. I presume, Matt, like most times they're sold over here, they're sold out quick.
Yes, very quick. You just got to be there. You've got to be up, waiting, getting that refresh button to get in there.
Yeah, Matt, tell us about your experience on that. Did you've done well here?
Yeah, I've sort of learned now, like, you just got to get there, wait for them to become available, and then if you're looking for Raw and SmackDown, you best get two people on the case, like on two different levels. Try and get them.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I remember trying to get tickets back in the day, and my God, was it difficult. And the one thing I always regret, I had these, I got to the fact where I got these tickets, and then I was like, hang on, I think I could get better. So I come back out and went back in it again, and everything had gone. I was like, you idiot. Like, it was like floor, it was like, 3 rows back or whatever, and I was like, I'll never forget regretting that moment from when I did that. But those tickets, man, they are lapped up. I mean, I'm sure there are so many organisations that are getting them and then selling them on straight after. I mean, already I bet you any money StubHub is literally full of them at ridiculous prices. So it's just one of those hard things sometimes when WWE, and because it doesn't come here often, those things are like gold dust over here. But we'll be heading there. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, well, thank you as always, Matt, for the podcast this week.
Yeah, not a problem at all, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, and thank you for everyone who's been listening and sending in the emails. Always good to hear from you. We'll be back again in another fortnight's time, and close to the holidays as well, as we get to this one. Thank you for everybody that's participated in this one. Until the next time, folks, we're out. Have a good time.